All right, I'll take over for our safety briefing this morning. So for parents and anybody, spectators, we'll discuss the rules of the game for you here in about 15 minutes. So right now it's for the teams. Let's make sure we have everybody here. Sky Blazers.
Yeah.
Pumas. Predators. Flying Jags. White Dragons. Red Dragons. Blue Dragons. Black Knights. Yellow Jackets. The North Stars. And Leaders in Excellence. All right, so before we get started, today is a double elimination tournament. You will all play until you lose 2 games. Okay, double elimination is a little bit interesting. If an undefeated team is in the championship and then they lose, they still have to lose twice to be knocked out, so there's a potential rematch of that championship in that case. But we do have one adjustment. Unfortunately, team AAHS from Alabama was not able to make it in for the tournament. And so you see that on the brackets, they were going to play in that second round. So there will be a bye for the winner of match 2 in that round, and they'll continue to play until they lose twice. So that's the adjustment there. AAHS did not make it. We've got 11 teams here for the national championship, so we're really excited about it today. And all of you played your regional championships from Alabama, California, New York, Colorado, so we're very excited. We're going to have a few clarifications here, so just bear with me. You guys have heard this before. So one change or adjustment we want to make clear in the rules is that we do expect that your active roster of your 5 pilots for each set is co-ed, and that you give everybody a chance to play today. You know, if you have a tough couple rounds, maybe only play a few games, we want to make sure everybody gets a chance to fly. If you do get knocked out early, we have the practice arena in the back there for you guys to get some extra scrimmages in, play against some teams from some other states or teams you didn't get to play against. And we're all learning here today so that you guys can come back. We're also today filming what we're doing here at the National Championship. These are going to be the videos that every team in the country studies all season next year. So you guys are really leading the way at this National Championship. So that'll be great. Also, for each set, you guys have a captain armband. Ensure that one of your 5 active pilots has that armband on. They're the only members of your team who are able to interact with the referees and bring up any disputes. And during that set play, only the player with the armband can call a timeout for a damaged striker. So make sure that armband is on who you want leading during that set. That's the only person the referees will listen to. Everybody clear on that? Help us out today. We want to keep this area back here clear. So going to and from the team areas, we want you to go through our World Games 2022 drone racing gate over there. So make sure you're coming through that drone racing gate and watching from the stands. So any of your pilots who are not flying, we want you in the stands cheering on your team. Only the 5 active pilots will be here playing the game. When you're done, those 5 active pilots may proceed to the battery station. In the back there, we will have a metal tray for your team. It's labeled, so have somebody from your team take your hot batteries to the orange side of the table, and they will be charged, and when they are done, they will be put on the green side of the table for pickup. So you're allowed to go, from the practice arena to those battery tables, but otherwise we want you guys out here in front, okay? All right, going through the briefing here, we have 3 minutes per set. We will pause for stoppages. The only stoppages that we plan on having are if the striker is damaged and your captain calls a timeout. We will unplug that striker, regardless of whether it really was damaged or not, and we will place those flags on your backup striker. So you will point to who is your backup, the flags will go on, and then we're out. We do have actual flags today. You'll all be happy to know we're not using the painter's tape anymore. So that's a great improvement in technology. Again, the game only stops for the referee whistle or the horn on the scoreboard. If the referee is issuing you a command to disarm your drone, if it's damaged, or if they are having a conversation, the play does not stop for verbal commands. Play only stops for whistles and the horn. Referees can stop play for safety if a drone escapes the arena or some other reason that they need to stop the game. You will stay disarmed at all times until the referees command you to arm your drones. Prior to each set, captains, you are responsible for coming to the scorekeepers in advance of your game and making sure that the scorecard is correct, and notify them in the beginning of each set which 5 pilots are flying. That's your chance to make sure that those are a co-ed lineup. Teams will designate your striker ahead of time. We have the flags on the referee tables for each arena, so you will put that on the correct drone. We ask that you try to have your striker drones with a unique color pattern. So if you're flying with blue LED lights, maybe green or teal or something that's similar but noticeable for everybody watching from the stands. Every drone should have a battery firmly attached. Do not plug in the drones outside of an arena, so you're going to have it firmly attached. If the battery comes off during flight, that's your responsibility, not the referee, okay? Teams are going to monitor the countdown clock on your arena and make sure that you are on time. If the drones are not on the referee table before the repair countdown clock is done, those drones are not eligible to fly in that set. So if only 3 people put their drones in, you're going to fly with 3 people. So captains, watch the clock, make sure your teams are on time. Let's see. Set start, we're going to put all the drones in the start area, and we'll plug them in, obey the referee commands at all time. Do not arm unless the referee tells you to, because they've got their fingers in those drones, okay? The referee will make 2 attempts to try to get a good connection with the radio. Otherwise, we'll reach for that spare pretty quick. So at the beginning of each set, you want your drones on the table, have at least 1 spare drone, I recommend it, and you want 5 spare batteries on that referee table in the event of a overtime. At the end of each set, stay in place. The referees will count their penalties and determine if there are penalty shots in extra time. If that's the case, we will take one of the spare batteries and we will put it on the team, the 2 pilots, or 1 pilot from each team that is doing the penalty shot. Any questions on that? So you get fresh batteries in penalty time, and if there's a overtime, you'll have fresh batteries for that as well. If you guys are going to do test flights throughout the day, you can do them inside the practice arena, and then as I mentioned this later on today, we can get going with some practice scrimmages. You guys choose to organize that. You'll be on your own if you guys want to scrimmage, but get as much flying in as you can. Okay, so we mentioned coming to and from the outside here. Anybody within 10 feet of the arena must have protective eyewear on, and that includes the practice arena. So make sure you're wearing your protective eyewear. Remind each other if you see someone not wearing it. For our parents and everybody here, parts come flying off of these drones. All right, so we want to make sure everybody's being safe. No aggressive or uncontrolled flying. Similar to head hunting in football, we're not here to damage the other team, we're here to play the game. So if you guys are flying recklessly with the intent to damage some drones, we're going to call a misconduct penalty. You can be removed from the game of the tournament. Again, only team captains are calling the striker. Those are the ones with the armbands. And we covered that there. If you do hear a whistle or a horn, all pilots, just go ahead and land in place. Expectations today, let's keep it super positive. Let's meet kids from other states, and we want to have good sportsmanship and fair play at all times today. No running or playing around. We mentioned staying away from behind the referee tables. Let's see. All right, if anything is unsafe or you want to talk to somebody, we have our head referee for C and D is Lena Pineros, and our head referee for A and B is Aronzi Lewis. Right there. So if you want to bring any issues up to them, you can come straight to me or David. And if there's anything that you don't feel comfortable coming out in this setting, we do have anonymous reporting through reporting@dronesports.us. If you want to send us an anonymous comment, we will protect your privacy there. All right, so our games are going to take place on these A, B, C, D arenas, and it's going to be that way all day. And then semifinals and finals will be here on Arena B. All right. If you guys have questions, captains, you can come up to me later, but I'm going to hand it back over to Dan Hacker.